seed you gonna water? Are you waiting on that rain? Well, love could come with pleasure. Well, love could come with pain. Love grows in some way. You've got it all inside you. Only you can make yourself change. If you can, those feelings burned out. Well, I know a fire that still remains. Love grows in some way. Share the same sky. We can watch the clouds roll away. Keep your eyes on that new horizon before we slip away. Somewhere down the road, dear, I only hope you'll come my way. Well, I can show you what I'm made of. It's all around you anyway. Love grows in some way. Love grows in some way. Love grows in its own way.
The light of God surrounds you. The love of God enfolds you. The power of God protects you. And the presence of God watches over you. Wherever you are, God is. And all is well. All is well. Feel that. All is well. Nature tells us that all is well. The rhythm of each day. The sun rising. The sun setting. The moon rising. The moon setting. The stars. The sky. The sky is always there for us. The waterways, the oceans, the lakes, the rivers, they're always here for us. The birds, singing. All the animals know all is well. They have no fear, no worries. In this moment, all is well.
Good morning. Welcome to our Sunday time of connecting together, reminding each other of why we're here in the world and how much we are influencing the world toward the greater good and the higher way of being, the more conscious way of being in the world. And it is a new month, and we're starting a new series. And I'm excited about this series because we're going to be discussing, delving into, and endeavoring to experience a higher level of frequency. And I've talked around this. We've said that it's a part of our vision as First Unity Spiritual Campus, as One Love Consciousness Movement, that the work that I do in the world and the work that is attracting people from around the world is the work of expanding consciousness. Bishop Carlton Pearson, who was my mentor, my spiritual father, my guide for many years, his whole ministry and his final really 20 years of ministry, maybe a little more than that even, was all based in expanding and raising the consciousness. It was consistently, that's what he was talking about, expanding consciousness. And he would get into different parts of that and what that looked like. But the thing is that when we expand our consciousness, we start to realize as we open up, as we become more available to pure presence, more available to the Holy Spirit, whatever terminology you want to use, the Brahman, the presence of God, the source, the I am. As we expand, we start to understand the characteristics of that divine nature. And Dr. David Hawkins did a lot of work around consciousness and conscious awareness, and even built, for our viewing pleasure and challenge, a consciousness scale where we could see how energy works, a frequency scale. So I decided to title this next 3-week series, Living in Frequency, the Energetics of Awakening, because everything is energy. And so when we're talking about energetics, we're talking about the different sort of intricate details around the energies of love, joy, and peace for this next 3 weeks. These are not just the gateways, but they are the gateway, the doorway, and the fuel to propel us into higher levels of awakening and moving toward liberation and enlightenment. And it is not only my job, but it is my calling, it is my pleasure, it is my passion in this life to do everything I can to help as many people wake up before I get out of this physical avatar. It is my desire to do that, to help us all to awaken. I am awakening. I am choosing awakening. It is not necessarily easy. It is challenging to the ego. It is challenging to look at your shadow self, often because we have been taught to judge the shadow self. But the truth is that we're merging the shadow self into the light, and we're integrating. And as we do that, we individuate. We become the true self. Most of us get trapped in this life by the various things as a result of not being whole. We've been taught by religion to seek pureness, to be a better person, to be good, to have integrity, to have character. All of those things are important, but we're not here to be pure. We're here to be whole. When you're complete, pure essence starts to flow out of you. And when that happens, we make better decisions, better choices, not better by the standard of a puritanical society, but better by the standard of the flow of life and the rhythm of life. So message number 1 in this series is love, the frequency that heals the split. Now, before you start to glaze over here, I know we've talked about love a lot. I know that we've mentioned love. I talk about love on a regular basis. But in today's message, I am saying and declaring that we're making love dangerous again. Because real love doesn't just hug you, it dismantles the false self and leaves cookies on the rubble. And if your version of love never offends your ego, it's not love, it's people pleasing in a spiritual costume. I think Carrie put up a quote or something that was one of the quotes that I shared with her coming out of this message today. Because the big idea here is that love is not just emotion. It's not just a feeling. Love isn't always comfortable. It interrupts. It interrupts the script. It deteriorates our masks. And it detonates the energy bomb that launches us out of performance and into presence, out of pretending and into pure presence. Love is the doorway, if you will, into higher consciousness living. I believe that love is the organizing intelligence of the universe. It's the frequency of coherence that draws all things back into harmony. It is what collapses the illusion of separation, and it reveals to us our ultimate oneness with all that is, with all of life. In Dr. David Hawkins' map of consciousness, he said that love calibrates at 500. Now, this kind of bothered me, I got to be honest with you, a little bit, because I was thinking in terms of love being the ultimate, that it would be like, if there's going to be a scale of 1 to 1,000, that love would be the 1,000. Until I sat with this and I allowed myself to be open past what I think I believe about love. And I realized that love calibrates at 500. And here's the thing. Love is the bridgeway. It's the threshold where duality dissolves and the ego loses its grip. So I got excited about that because it is not sentimental. It is catalytic. That means it is catalytic. Yes, catalytic or catalytic. Yeah, that thing. It's a catalyst. It is the first vibration and the first really vibrational state that heals the internal split between who we think we are and who we truly are. I like to say that you can think of love as the ultimate doorman or doorwoman and tour guide. It is the gateway, the doorway. This is one of the things that I noticed about Jesus in one of his teachings where he said, I'm the door to the sheepfold. He wasn't saying I'm the whole sheepfold. He was saying I'm an entryway. Even if we go with what Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life, he was saying the I am is the way to truth and to life. And love is that gateway. It's that opening. So number one, love is a frequency, not a feeling. Dr. David Hawkins said this, love is misunderstood to be an emotion. Actually, it is a state of awareness, a way of being in the world. Somebody type into the comments, love is my way of being in the world. It's not a feeling. It's not a rom-com situation. It's not the ushy-gushy, lusty feelings or even the romance feelings. Love is not reactive or emotional. It is a tuning fork in the soul. So put in the comments, love is my way of being in the world. Love calibrates your nervous system. It organizes your mind. Now see, this is why we turn on to love here, because to organize the mind seems to be extremely impossible. It seems to be beyond our scope of understanding, and it is. Love is what organizes the mind. Love sends signals into the field. It doesn't rise and fall with the circumstances that are going on around us. It doesn't depend on reciprocity. You don't need someone else to respond to you. True love is the essence that goes out from you. It doesn't need approval. It's not something you fall into. It's something that you tune into and rise with. Love is the lens that collapses the illusion of other. And I believe it's the field in which the observer and the observed become one. It moves us outside of division and into ultimate unity. Number two, love heals because it unifies. You see, I know I've said this before, but all of us that are saying we want to experience awakening really need to hear this today. We really need to hear this today. Because there are many of us who are saying we want to experience awakening, but we don't realize the work that it takes to experience the awakening includes the dismantling of our egoic nature. The ego survives by division. Me versus you, right versus wrong, sacred versus secular. But love undoes the spell. Can you hear that? Love undoes the spell. This is why Rumi said, out beyond the concepts of right and wrong is a field. I'll meet you there. He was talking about the field of love. And I believe he was talking about higher consciousness. Where there is love, there is no other, said Ramana Maharshi. So we collapse the distance between us and the other. And yes, that includes those Republicans that you don't like. That includes those MAGA people that you don't like. That includes those libtards, as you've called them, that you don't like. Those Democrats that you don't like. That includes the gays and the lesbians and transgender. That includes the black and the white and the Asian and the Mexican and all of the list that goes on of the labels that we've created to divide ourselves. That includes the Christians, those who are dogmatic and those who are not. That includes the Buddhist and the Muslim. That includes us all, because, as Ramana Maharshi said, where there is love, there is no other. Love does not mean spiritual bypassing. It means you see clearly without condemning. You see the distortion, but you respond to the essence. In Sufi mysticism, love, ishq, is the flame that burns away the veil of separation. Somebody say, I'm allowing love to burn away the veil of separation. Type it into the comments. Come on, let's get involved today. I am allowing love to burn away the veil of separation. Ishq, love, in mysticism, in Sufi mysticism, is remembrance, not reaction. Love doesn't try to fix. Love reveals that there was never anything broken to fix. Love is constantly reminding us of our connection with the divine and reminding us that that connection runs to us, for us, through us, and as us in the world, and that every other living being you come in contact with on the planet or off the planet is a part of that consciousness construct, the substance of divine presence. So love, true love, is breaking down our separations and bringing us closer in proximity. Somebody that you can think of right now that irritates the absolute stew out of you. I said a different S word this time. The stew out of you. That person is testing the distance that you're willing to go as the sacrifice of love. Now, here's the key. Number 3, this is another key. Love is the beginning of embodied awakening. I'm experiencing awakening. Now, how do I embody it? Instead of it just being a shakeup in my life, which can just turn into mental illness, or it can turn into a breakdown without having the opportunity for a breakthrough. How does that occur? That occurs because many of us don't come into the embodiment of the awakening, and love is the beginning of embodying the awakening. You can know all the right words. You can recite sacred texts. You can sit on meditation cushions or on a hard ground to meditate because you're more spiritual. You can quote Rumi by heart, Jesus by heart. But until love becomes your resting state, your awakening is still conceptual. I believe in awakening. I believe in awakening. I believe in. But until you can become love in your resting state, that awakening is still conceptual. Rumi said this, speaking of Rumi, love is the bridge between you and everything. Love, 1 John 4:8 says God is love. Love is the bridge between you and everything. Now, bringing some scripture into it, 1 John 4 and 16 says, your task is not to seek for love, but to seek and find all of the barriers you've built against it. It's another thing that Rumi teaches, and actually a Rumi quote, because the 1 John 4:16 quote is, God is love. Whoever abides in love abides in God. It's not that God is separate from you. The abiding is the embodiment. Somebody say the abiding is the embodiment. Again, Rumi also said, your task is not to seek love, but to seek and find all of the barriers you've built against it. What is it that's causing me to not expand fully in my love? Because love is the bridge between the mystical and the mundane. It's what makes enlightenment practical. Love doesn't escape life. It enters into life fully without resisting and without insisting everything be my way. Number 4, living in the frequency of love means living untriggered. Now, this may automatically trigger you. It automatically triggers me. When I received this as a download in my soul, John, living in love requires that you heal the triggers. When I live in the frequency, now here's the thing, because some people will think when we're talking about committing to living in love, joy, and peace, that we're talking about perfection now. That's not what we're talking about. We're saying choosing to live in the frequency of love means you're going to be living untriggered. This is not about spiritual perfection, but it really is about energetic stability, starting to reach that maturation, maturity, and stability. To live in the love frequency is to really to decentralize the outer world from your inner peace. You're no longer a thermometer or a thermostat. I've said to you before that we're thermostats and thermometers, and I'm saying that even now I've come to a realization that even a thermostat requires the temperature of the room to be a certain way in order for it to turn on. And I'm saying we're not thermometers or thermostats anymore reacting to the environment. We become the radiator of wholeness and completion. You are the button pusher who decides the temperature and what it will be. So you've even moved beyond thermostat. I used to think that that was a cool thing. I used to say, I'm not a thermometer, I'm a thermostat, because thermometers just hang around and wait for the environment to tell it the temperature, and thermostats change the temperature. But even a thermostat needs external input and information and influence in order to even turn on an air conditioner or a heater. I'm saying that you are a radiator of wholeness and that you're the pusher of the button. I don't need the world to act in a certain way for me to remain aligned with the truth. This is what it means to abide in love. It's not something that you give when others behave. It's who you are. Whether or not the outer world cooperates, because sometimes it just doesn't. So, how do I embody this? How do I create a frequency reset? If love is the tuning fork, this practice is how we vibrate with it again. Step 1 in that process is to settle the body. And I actually, let's just do it. Let's do it right now together. Let's just do it. I'm going to ask you to take a moment wherever you are and settle into the body. If you feel comfortable doing so, I'm going to ask you to consider closing your eyes, putting your hand on your heart. 3 slow breaths in. Breathe in, I return to love, and breathe out, I release resistance. Yeah, we're doing this right now. We're setting the stage. Breathe in, I return to love. Breathe out, I release resistance. sitting in that for just a moment. Let's activate the field. While your eyes are gently closed and your hand is touching your chest, which is over the heart space, remember a moment of deep connection. Not romance, really, but sacred. Maybe holding a child, watching a sunrise, laughing uncontrollably, or maybe the stillness after a prayer. Envision that now and ask what this is. It's not just a memory. What it is naturally. And what if this is your natural baseline? What if this isn't just a memory, the feeling of stillness and love, but it's your natural baseline, before the world told you otherwise? What if this feeling of exuberance and stillness and emptiness is who you really are? Now, I'll invite you to speak into the field. And I'll ask you to whisper or speak, I choose to dwell in the frequency of love. I choose to dwell in the frequency of love. I don't need to be right, safe, or in control to stay aligned. I am love. I am the field. I am the whole. Breathing in, I choose to dwell in the frequency of love. Breathing out, I don't need to be right, safe, or in control to stay aligned. I am love. I am the field. I am the whole. Now, receiving a deep breath in, I'll ask you to begin to wiggle your toes and your fingers as your eyes begin to gently open and you return to this space, you re-enter this moment. Here's a little quote or reflection to close this time together out. Love is what the Big Bang whispered when it exploded into everything. Love is not what you feel. It's the field you emit when you no longer need to prove, protect, or perform. Now, as we begin to bring this time together to conclusion, go out and radiate. Not to change the world, but to remember what's real. You're not here to find love. You are here to become the full functioning frequency of love. And that love heals the split, the division. So over these next few weeks, as we continue this journey, love, joy, and peace, I hope in some way today's message is compelling enough to draw you into the deepest desire of moving through the doorway of love. So many of us have walked up to the love door and we've stood in the doorway. I'm asking you to consider entering into this deeper level of loving awareness where I'm moving from awakening to embodying the awakening. I'm moving from saying I love to embodying love, because that's what we're here to do as we begin this journey of living in frequency. This is our call to the energetic shift of love, joy, and peace. Now, I want to share with you something that Reverend Aileen would normally be the one to share, but I have a little bit of Celtic in my blood too, and this is a closing blessing, a Celtic blessing for embodying love. And it goes like this. May the love that made the stars be the light within your heart. May it rise with you in morning stillness and rest with you in evening peace. May your hands move with kindness, your words carry healing, and your presence speak what cannot be said. May you walk in love, breathe in love, and remember you are love. So be it, and so it is. Amen, and I'm in. Living in frequency, healing the divide, the split, embodying the love that takes us on into joy and into peace and on higher into enlightenment. You want liberation? It's going to be through the doorway of love. And love challenges us to move beyond our ego and our judgments, all of them, and into that space of full awareness that we're connected to the all. Here's a little something I want to share with you before I turn it over to Reverend Carrie. She's going to share with us our announcements this week. First, let me say that I appreciate your patience. We have had one thing after another in technological issues. We are working diligently on that. But I'm just going to be straight up transparent with you today. We have made so many financial cuts this year, and we have endeavored to bring ourselves out of the red and in the black for the first time in First Unity's journey in a long time. We are on the edge of that. But the main reason for it has been the cuts. And as a result of that, we have been doing everything we can to save money while saying we're living in abundance. And the time has really come for us as a community to say, listen, we're going to invest in this ministry to the level we want to see it succeed. I'm doing that. I'm giving tithes and offerings. I'm encouraging you to be a sustaining partner. And those of you who are supporting this First Unity spiritual campus, right now we're literally on a campus sharing space with Eckert, give in that space. If that is the project and ministry that you feel called to, give in that space. You can do that. The ways to give will be on the screen and in the advert right after we leave out of service today as we get past the announcements with Reverend Carey. Those who are one love, now is the time. Step in and step up and say, I'm going to support this ministry financially. The blessings are flowing to us. I know this. We're open to it. And some of that conduit is you. And so today is your day to consider sharing a financial gift. And I want to say to our sustaining partners who are already doing that, thank you. Thank you. You are sustaining. You're keeping the gas in the engine. And now is the time for us to turn it up. And it's a time for us to increase our growth. So invite people, share this. If this is meaningful to you, share it to your page or share it with a friend. All of the little blurbs that I'm putting out during the week, I don't know if you realize how much work goes into that, but there's a lot of work goes into it. And you know what I do it for? I do it to continue to inspire. It's my calling in this life. But share those with somebody. Reach out and say, hey, check this out. This may be for you today. Consider doing that. Also, today we're talking about the frequency of love. Next week, the frequency and the vibrational frequency of joy. And the following week is the vibrational frequency of peace. Now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to do a commitment ceremony at the end of the third Sunday of August. And that commitment ceremony is going to include a commitment card. Reverend Carey, as soon as that is all complete, we'll roll that out so that you can see what it is. Those who want a card virtually online, you're going to need to reach out to us and let us know so that we can mail something out to you, and you can participate in that ceremony if you would like. The main reason for any ceremony or ritual is to have a touchstone, a time and a place, sort of date, time stamped in our minds when we made a commitment. And the commitment is not to perfect or be perfect love, joy, and peace right now. The commitment is to daily practice it. Notice the words, I am daily practicing love, joy, and peace. Why am I practicing this? Because we live in a world that has taken us out of alignment with the truth of our nature, which is love, joy, and peace. And so we are endeavoring to practice it. And I'm encouraging you to consider doing that. If you want more information about it, please email us, Kerry@firstunity.org, Kerri at firstunity.org. She's going to tell you about the book study, our Spirit Expressing that's coming up. I'm getting out of the way and moving over for Reverend Kerry. I love you. Bless you.
Good morning, First Unity family. Happy Sunday. Reverend Kerry here, and I'm bringing you your campus announcements. Thursday meditation has moved to Wednesday at 6 p.m. at the Asbury Arms Clubhouse in St. Pete. This week is facilitated by Reverend Aileen. Our artist for the month of August is Reverend Alara Lavelle. Please support her artistry. A portion of the proceeds does go to First Unity Spiritual Campus. Our spiritual support team are in pink stoles, and they are available for you before and after service to pray. Our ushers and greeters are in red stoles. They are also available for any of your needs before or after service. Next Sunday, we will be back in the Benninger Theater. We are here through the end of August. Spirit Expressing starts in September. This year, we are reading the book, The Biology of Belief by Bruce Lipton. We do have host signups going on again this Sunday. If you are at service, you can sign up with Angie in the lobby. If you are online, please email Angie, ANGIE, at firstunity.org if you would like to be a host. Starting next Sunday, we will have participant signups. If you'd like to pre-purchase your books, we do have the paperback book for $15 each and the workbook for $5 each. Make sure you stay up to date with all campus happenings at firstunity.org. I love you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Hey family, thank you for joining us today for our telecast. And thank you for being a sustaining partner with First Unity Spiritual Campus. The number one way to give is to text to give, 833-691-6105. And you can text the word give. Number two, the First Unity app, and then tap that yellow heart. And number three, go to firstunity.org/give. And this also gives you the option to have a subscription giving, which is automatic each month. That means you can budget it into your monthly budget and not even have to think about it. It comes out automatically. The fourth way to give is to mail to P.O. Box 13293, St. Petersburg, Florida, 33733. The number five way to give is through Cash App. That's right, through Cash App, $ First Unity, SC. $ First Unity, SC. Also, you can use the QR code that is on the screen right now. You can scan that code and be taken to our safe and secure website for your giving. Once again, allow me to say thank you so much for being a sustaining partner with this ministry of love. Have a wonderful day.
Now there is peace on earth, and it has begun with me. Now there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Now there is peace on earth. Yes, this is the moment now. With every step I take, yes, this is my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Now there is peace on earth, and it has begun with me. And our prayer of protection together, the light of God surrounds us. I am the light. The love of God enfolds us.
I am the love. The power of God protects us. I am the power. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. I love you, family. Make it a great Sunday.